If I should turn it on, I'm gonna do that. So I love the daytime moon. Something just amazing, like, and mysterious about it. Nice. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Zoom. The true Earth map. I've heard that before. I don't know, I've never grasped, like, quite, grasped it, if that's the way to say it. I've never quite fully understood it. But I totally get the concept. It's an Earth mirror. No, I'm just kidding. Should we zoom in? I'm gonna zoom in. Let's get a little bit. Whoa, that's way too far. Let's go. Oh, they just turned into domes. Oh, now they're back to craters. Have you guys ever had that happen to you? Where you're looking and you're like, wait a minute, they're all sticking up. And then you glance at something else or whatever and look back, and then they're dome or crater looking again. Look up Vibes of Cosmos. He's done good work. Vibes of Cosmos. I'll have to check it out. It's kind of a cool channel name, actually. Now that I thought about it a second, Vibes of Cosmos. You know, the word cosmos is a little bit of a weird word, if you ask me. That word assumes space, sort of. I mean, the way we use it today, I mean. I don't mean the word itself. The word itself, I think that means like the ruler of this world or something. Cosmos. Anyway. There, we'll go out a little bit. All right, I got to get my Sawzall out and trim a couple of these branches. They're like rubbing on my truck right now, or the leaves are. So I'll be back. I don't want to, but Lunar Caustic. Lunar Caustic. I like that map on your, what's that called? Avatar or whatever that is, the little picture by your name. Hey, take care, Freedom R Us. Make sure you guys follow. Awesome. So I'm just gonna leave this going for, I mean, I think the way it's going, it's gonna go like through a couple branches maybe in like a half hour. And during that time, that might be not even 5 minutes probably of, it depends on I can't tell exactly where it's gonna go. So it might go by the tip of a branch or it might go a little bit into it. And we'll be able to tell. Yeah, question. Twisted as a quick question. I'm all ears, or I'm all ready. Where's the flag? That's the good question. There's no flag. Who was it? The first man was, I think he was Russian or something, that went to space. Yuri Gagarin or something. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong, but he said, "I see no God up here," or something like that. And oh, sorry, I missed a couple comments there. And then I took my telescope and looked at the moon, and I see no flag up here. That's me. I don't think the moon is something you can land on. I mean, you could try. Apparently they did land on it, but if you believe that, out of all the billions of people that have lived, hello Isabel 999, good to see you. Of all the people that have lived, 12 or something, yeah, 12 have claimed to walk on the moon. They got a flag there and a bunch of rovers and a bunch of garbage. Why did they leave garbage on the moon? Like how if the moon was a place, it's a light, by the way. If it was a place, why would you leave garbage on it? Why? If you go to the park, you just leave your broken down four-wheeler at the park? Or you flew a rocket there, but you only need half of it to get back, so you just leave the broken garbage, the used up garbage part on this place of wonder and mystery? Are you kidding me? I can't get to understand any of the garbage that happened from the Apollo missions. You know, Revelation 9, it mentions the angel of the bottomless pit. Apollyon? I like that. The moon is a moon. Massacrator Lewikow. Sorry if I said that totally wrong. Jonathan, what's up? Why did they do nothing after getting on the moon except flag and collect stuff? Oh, they did experiments. They put reflectors there so that in the 2020s, when everybody starts to realize the truth, we can tell everyone, we have reflectors up there, and you can bounce a radar and get a signal back just exactly. No, give me a break. Yeah, the cameraman they left behind. Well, I guess they're still sending letters back and forth via satellite. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know if any of that happened. I mean, I think it happened. Like, in the world it happened. But not on the moon it didn't happen. If that makes sense. Nothing happened on the moon. You know how we have television? Just the idea of television where you can visualize an entire story or whatever, you know, an entire subject, like a documentary type of thing, I'm saying. And you can, you know, dig deep. But when it comes to the sky, nobody knows anything about the sky except for what we see from the ground. I mean, going to space, that's all a lie. Just like the television. It's a story being told. But people say they want to add stuff like moon bases, but have not done it. Yeah, I know, but every president says, yeah. Oh, we got someone, user 438 and all those numbers says 100% happened. There's evidence still there. How would you know if there was evidence still there? And if it, like, here's where, like, my preface for that would be, I don't care about the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter or any of the images that come from it, because it's coming from a place of darkness, guys. That's the scary part. No, I don't think NASA's doing anything. I don't think NASA's lying. He says if you don't trust NASA, you can look up pictures from when China went there and found the landing site. So men sent something or left something on the moon, and then they verified it. Other men verified it with something they sent to the moon. That's a fairy tale, man. This is my opinion, of course, which has changed in the last 10 years for sure. Until you really think about what we're looking at right now, without the understanding that you already know what it is and everything about it, you can't know what it is or anything about it. Because we were born in bondage about this. We were born under chains to understand what we understand. Have you ever thought of the moon being just right up in the sky? Like right, you know, have you ever thought of the moon being something that you couldn't touch? Or that you couldn't, because I'd say it looks like a big sphere of dust or something in the sky. That's what it looks like. And we're looking at it right now. Let me zoom in a little. It looks like there's, you know, craters. They look like, that's really grainy, sorry, but they look like circles with ridges, right? And it looks like a sphere, right? Because it's obvious. It looks like a sphere. But let me tell you, here's the way I thought about it. Okay, this is moving across the sky at about 15 degrees an hour, you know, in general. Okay? And like, if we start from square one, what do we know about it? Okay, well, we know it goes about 15 degrees per hour, and it kind of does the same path as the sun. Not exactly, but it's as if the sun and moon are following each other through the sky, depending on what time it is. You know, like if the moon's in front or if the moon's in... Like right now, it would seem to me that the sun just got in front of the moon like a week ago. And we're almost to the 7th day of the passing of... Like the sun passed up the moon. You know what I'm saying? It went past the moon. And then in another 7 days, the moon will be rising later and later each day until the sun catches up to it again, which takes 28 days. That's what we know about it, right? I'm saying we all agree on that. I think we all agree on that. That's what it looks like from the ground. Every day that you see the sun, you don't always see the moon. But it has phases, and it goes through those phases the same every time. And it does it in different parts of the sky throughout seasons. It does it lower to the horizon, which appears to be farther away in the winter. But the moon doesn't always do that in the winter. So they have specific motions that they make, and it continues to work all of our lives, right? So we know that. We know that it's appears to be local, because if the blue sky is local, which it is. I mean, I'm saying during the day we have the blue sky, and right now we can see the blue sky behind the moon, see it behind the moon, and we can see it in front of the moon. Okay, so that we know. KK says, what's going on here? Just joined. Well, right now I'm actually determining or listing, I'm kind of saying a list of the things that we all pretty much agree on the moon. We all know these things about the moon, but I was just going to point out some of the things that were not making sense in our thinking too. Not like I'm smart or something. I'm just saying that when we analyze it, it seems sometimes clarity comes, you know what I mean? So another thing we know about it is that they say they landed on it from 69 to 72 or whatever. And they left garbage there. Lots of garbage, I guess. And then now we send a different thing to go to the moon from China. And why I'm saying we is because we're men that live on the earth. That's what we are. I don't care if you're Chinese. I know that China is not at all really tied up with NASA at all. They have like no, they don't work together. I mean, I'm sure they do on certain levels, but what I'm saying is they separate themselves from each other. That's been for a long time. So China does their own thing. It's like they're not included in that. So they do their own thing, but they do the same things. And Japan is included though, and like most of the other countries are included. China's the only one that's kind of excluded. So they have their own space station. They send their own astronauts up, which is weird, but so the moon, have you ever thought about it this way? That bird's trying to overtalk me right now. Have you ever thought about an apple being, it's in the tree? I know you've thought about it. It's in the tree, and at some point in time, during the summer or whatever, the apple will fall off the tree. So there's like two states of the apple. One where it's hanging from the little stem, and one where the little stem broke and it fell, or someone pulled it or whatever. So that's one of the things that's different about the moon. It doesn't have anything that it appears to hang on, like a stem, yet it stays up in the sky. And now, I know everyone's mind wants to go to, well, it's orbiting the Earth because of gravity. In order to think about it differently, you need to forget about that, because that's just something you don't know. You know that it rises in the east and sets in the west and does these phases, and it's a light at night. That's what we really know. So taking the NASA stuff out, the China stuff out, the stuff that men claim, okay? I don't care if there's a bunch of men that claim it. What I'm trying to say is, if you listen to the men that claim it, you might as well live in their world. They're going to tell you the story, and it's going to be a legit story because they believe it. Right? They do believe it. I used to believe it because that's where we grew up. Oh, users 43.8 says, you're going to sit there and sneer at all of science. Okay, let's talk about science. And noted evidence because it was made by men. No, it's not because it's made by men. It's something that men believe. And like I was saying, there's been 12 men, and I might be wrong about that, but I think there's been 12 men that have walked on the moon. And speaking of science, okay, if we're going to do the scientific method, or if we're going to carry out science, we can infer things, right? But when we infer something that opposes what we observe, is that science if we believe what we infer? Here's the example. Earth, the Earth that you and everybody and me live on, that Earth is at rest and is not rotating. That's science. We make this observation constantly. Right now, look at the floor and you tell me if it's rotating or if it has an axis, or if the only reason that anybody can have the idea that the Earth is rotating is because the sky is rotating, and you infer, I used to infer that it was the Earth that was rotating, but it's actually the sky. And here's some good evidence for that. Look at the image of on your screen. Hear the sound of the motor. My telescope is moving my camera and the whole apparatus at 15 degrees per hour in order to keep the moon in view. The moon is moving. It's not the Earth that's moving. The sun is moving. It's not the Earth that's moving. The Earth is the part that's not moving. And if we want, we can imagine a different reference frame, but that's not reality. Saying, well, the moon is orbiting the Earth, so or the Earth is rotating only one revolution per day. It's very slow. But it's not. It's faster than the speed of sound at the equator. It's 1,037 miles an hour at the equator. That's how fast they're actually moving. Yeah, but the atmosphere moves with the Earth. Okay, so what causes that? How does the atmosphere move with the Earth at 100,000 feet or 60,000 feet or however? Go way up. That atmosphere has to be moving a lot faster. Doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't go with any observation. A reference frame is something where we can gain knowledge, like we can get insight and clarity about things by imagining it from a different position, right? Simple. Here's an example. I've never been on one of the stars, okay? I've never been to one of the stars. They've always been in the sky for me. And if I imagine that I was on a star, what I would imagine that I would see is a rotating Earth, right? If I was standing on a star, I don't think it's possible. What I'm saying is, this is imagining a different reference frame. So when it comes to objective reality, don't allow yourself to imagine a reference frame you are never going to be in. Here's another example. Okay, get a picture of the solar system in your mind. Okay, just imagine the solar system. Okay, that image that you're looking at in your mind, where is your vantage point in that image? Most people, including myself, say, well, I'm off in space and I'm looking at the solar system. I'm looking at the sun and I'm seeing the planets orbiting the sun. And I'm out in space, someplace that I'll never be, but I can imagine it, can't I? Doughboy says it ain't. If you can't go to space, it ain't real. Don't say it, prove it. That's a good idea. So, if you're going to claim science, then the Earth is stationary. And if you're going to claim like mathematics or trigonometry, then the sun is the same distance as the moon, same angular size. You get there's some monkey wrenches that we can throw in that make it. After there's enough of them, you realize that it's the whole concept is only something that's imagined. User 438 says absolutely not. Well, I mean, obviously we can disagree about things, but I'm not. You accused me of sneering. You said sneering at science. No, I actually believe what science shows me when I use it to determine something about the world. And I can't know all these things, but I don't know if you guys are noticing. This is pretty cool. The blue is getting darker a little bit, or more. It's getting like more of a royal blue color. That's kind of cool. But I think when I zoomed in, it kind of changed it too. See how it gets a little darker when I zoom in? Why can we see through it? I don't think we can see through it. I've seen stars, like if you're, right now we can't see the whole circle, obviously. Half of it's just blue. But if there was a star coming up towards that blue side, it would go behind where you see where the circle would be. So we wouldn't see the star through the moon. I know that people say that, and I've been looking through my telescope for well over 10 years, and I've never seen a star through the moon. Never. I've never seen it. I've seen images like on the internet of it, but I don't think that you can ever see a star through the moon. And I mean like the circle. Like if we were to continue the circle, you know what I mean? Oh, I see. Someone's pointing a blue laser at it. They said in my TikTok chats or whatever. So that's what it is. What am I thinking? No, there's just different ways to think about stuff that you have to drop all the statements of men. Doesn't mean you have to stop believing the things you believe, but if you can find that place where you say, okay, I know nothing, and let's see. Like, what do we know about it? What do we see about it? I've never seen aliens flying around. Zoom into it. Okay. It's a little grainy, but that's just because we're looking through my iPhone 13. Well, it's clearly a round ball. Dub Zero, let me bring something up. It's not a ball. If you make observations of it, it's a circle for sure. We know that. Like, let's say it's a full moon. You're doing this on an iPhone 13. Yes, but we're looking through a Meade ETX 125 little telescope. Well, that's not an iPhone camera. It's an iPhone 13 Max Pro or whatever. It's got a good camera, but this is just the regular camera on it. I could do this same image here with my iPhone 6s that I don't use anymore. Actually, I've used it to stream. It gives the same image. But this has a nicer camera, but I can't stream from it. Look at the angle of the craters as you get towards the outside circle. They're angled. I can see that. I totally get that it looks like a sphere. Or half a sphere, right? But it looks spherical. But here's the thing. When it's rising, it's on one side of the sky. If it was a sphere, I'm just being real here. This is simple. If it was a sphere and you were looking to the east and it was coming up, as it goes over you, yeah, Waterworld 2.0 has a P1000, and he says I can do that with my P1000. Yeah, you can get a really nice image with a P1000. I have one myself, but actually I borrowed it to someone. I borrowed it to someone that battles against the things I'm talking about, named MC Toon. Michael Toon has it. Which I actually just thought about it today, of saying, I should probably get my camera back. Because I bet you it's been 6 months. There was snow on the ground when I met up with him. But you know how it is? It's like you're busy. Everyone's busy. And I have a P900 too. And I haven't even really taken that out. So, I should get it back though. Why couldn't it be a sphere? Because of the way it passes over us. If you're looking to, like, just picture a basketball and put it over, in the sky, just in your mind, I'm saying, in the sky over on one side of the yard, and stand in the middle of the yard, and just imagine it going over you, like on a trajectory or a path or whatever. As it went over you and now it's on the other side of the yard, you'd see more than one side of it. Because if it was in the east, you'd see the front and bottom of it. And as it passed over you, when it was at your zenith, you'd see the bottom of it. And as it set on the west side of the sky, you would see the bottom and the back of it. Does that make sense? So you do understand that distance makes a difference. Yeah, and you don't know the distance to the moon. Nobody does. Well, apparently NASA does, right? They went there. This is not the real moon. It is the real moon, my friend. It's flipped. The orientation or whatever is, my telescope does that. It turns it basically upside down. Or it mirrors it, because my telescope literally has a mirror. That's what it is. It's a mirror. Dub Zeros, I get that. The moon's, its rotation matches, with, well, that's, I don't know how to word it, but yeah, you're right. As the same rate it rotates around the Earth, so you see the same side all the time. Okay, then I'm in Minnesota. I want you to go to Germany, and when there's a full moon, and we can see it at the same time, I want you to tell me what it looks, send me a picture of it. How am I going to get the exact same image that you get over in Germany? Because that's what happens. It'll be turned or whatever, but the image is the same. You could put them over each other. We're both seeing the same side of the moon and the same perspective, or the same angle of the moon. You can go in the south, it's just going to turn it upside down, but you see the exact same image. That tells me it's not a sphere. It looks like a sphere, like you pointed about the craters. I think it's a light, and that it's not something that we could probably even touch. So if there's a distance to it, I don't know how anyone would figure that out. You can't look at something in the sky and just expect to know its distance. Now, if you're in the next town over and I'm here and an airplane flies between us, I can make a note of its angle above the horizon, and you can too in the next city, and we can tell you exactly how high that airplane is. That's just simple geometry. But if you do that to the stuff in the sky, it doesn't quite work right. Like the heliocentric model doesn't work if you do that. Because if you would use geometry or trigonometry you'd do exactly what we were just talking about to get the distance to the sun, right? And to get the distance to the moon. How would you do the math differently? You'd make an observation from the Earth, and you'd have someone else making an observation from a different part of the Earth, and you'd triangulate the moon. That's what it's called, I guess. You'd triangulate it. It's simple geometry. So the sun and moon have to be the same distance from the Earth, same size. You can't do it. Ooh, we're getting close to that branch, and it looks like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We might just watch it go through the branches. I really don't know. It's looking like it's gonna go in the branches for a while, in about like 2 minutes. The moon is the Antichrist. Whoa. Why the moon have all those circles? Good question. I'm zoomed in on it. That's why it looks big. Here, I'll put my hand in front of the telescope. See that? How it gets darker. They're called craters. That's what everyone calls them anyway. What they are, I don't know if anybody knows. They're all circular, pretty much. Why can we see through the moon and see blue? Good question. That is what they are. Yep, they are what they are. I think that you can begin to learn the truth when you can put yourself in the mindset where you don't already know everything. In school, they taught us to think that we know everything about everything. Because we're humans. We want to know the knowledge. We want the knowledge of the truth. And we found it. If you can stop thinking that way, that's when you can begin to learn the truth. That's what I think. They just taught you what they learned exactly. And what they believed. Like, I don't think the globe on your kindergarten or first grade teacher's desk is anything accurate, but it was there. And you could find your state on it or whatever, right? We were indoctrinated, and so were our parents. And so were their parents. And so were their parents. And so were their parents. How long? Maybe even to the beginning of time, when the sky became a thing, when the planets decided to do something different than all the other stars. Who knows? Could have started right then. I like that. Corey says they never went to the moon. They can't even go to the Titanic. It does put it into perspective a little bit. I'm getting some text messages coming through. Jesus will save us from the something. Yes. Damn, the moon looks beautiful. Wagon says that. Yeah, make sure you guys follow too, because I don't just do this. I do lots of other stuff. I'm saying I make a lot of other videos. I try to make some kind of funny ones here and there, but some very serious ones too. There we go. I like that right there. Is the moon hollow? I don't know. I think it's flat. Simply for the reason that we only see one image of it. I mean, it lights up in different parts, but we only see one side of it, ever. Why is the moon doing that? What's it doing? Oh, that was just me moving the telescope a little bit. Try to get us a little bit of a different view. Oops. I'm doing it with my hand instead of the remote, which I probably should just use the remote, because it'll wander. It'll wander a lot more if I do it with my hands. It is cheese. It looks like some moldy cheese then. Kind of blue mold on there right now. I'm just kidding. The Chinese went to the dark side and documented it. You can believe that. A growing part of the world doesn't believe that, I'll tell you. Ask someone young. They're like, fish story. They don't believe it. Like, almost no young people believe it. I'm 45. I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've believed it and then came to the realization that these things happen in our world. These big stories and these big lies happen in our world. And always have happened, I think. And I don't know why exactly, but for some reason, people are realizing, they're understanding that this is a thing that happens in the world. That a lot of what we believe is based on one big lie. And it is a lie about the very place that we live. And what's above it. And who made it. It's going into the branch. I'll change the focus so we can look at the branch. But it's still got maybe another minute till it hits. Let's see. There's some bugs in front of my telescope too, like a little swarm of them. I think I can see the branch maybe. Let's see. Nope. It's going in the branch like right now. No, not yet. One more minute. The branch will actually be coming from the top of the screen because the telescope flips it. Definitely made out of cheese. What proof would you need that we have been to space? I think that astronauts went to space. But I think that it's part of this what happens in this world. There's like a God of this world who does things not equally powerful to what created everything, but very powerful. Things that we think are just immense accomplishments in this world. They're going, yeah, that's what I would say. I believe that the astronauts are, some people would call them aliens, or some people would call them demons, unclean spirits. But they've taken the form of man. And people are like, you're in La La Land. And I'm like, no. I think if you just believe the whole story, you might be in La La Land. It's not a safe place to be either. The Bible tells this story anyway. Like the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch tells this story. Here's one that it says, how does it word it? It says that all the sinners, all the sinners, the order of the stars would be hidden from the sinners at the end. And it would cause them to err. They would err about the order of the stars. And it would bring their own destruction. That's what the Book of Enoch said. And when I think about that, I'm like, that could be us. Be careful what you believe about the stars. Hey, Bobby. My cat's coming over here to bump the telescope, probably. Hey, buddy. Yep, here we go. He's going to bump it. Don't do it, Bobby. Don't do it. Oh, here he goes. He's sniffing it. Oh, here's his butt's going over to it. Don't do it. Oh, he walked away, yes. Usually he likes the sharp edges on the tripod. The Book of Enoch is legit. I love that book. Don't do it, Bobby. It's behind a tree, totally. Nope, it's not yet. It's so close. I bet you we can see it. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Swipe left to close. The tree will be coming from, I don't know what direction. That's why I zoomed out. So, I could use this for an example when the tree comes into view. Is the tree moving or is the moon moving? What reference frame? Oh no. In reality, the moon's moving. Tree's not. Simple. Like, it's simple. The world's not moving. Everything above the world is moving. Doughboy knows what's up. Everything that isn't included in the Bible shouldn't be trusted. Deception is abound. I couldn't have said it better. Even the Bible was manipulated, but God's word is in the Bible. And Jesus said his words will go on eternally. Eternally. You tell me something that's eternal. Only the eternal. So yeah, going to the moon, that has nothing to do with what's eternal. Going to space, space itself doesn't even have anything to do with eternal, because heaven is eternal. Heaven, not space. Space is darkness. Think about it. There's a place in the Bible where it's never-ending darkness. It's a bottomless pit of darkness. That's what NASA says space is. They just fall everywhere forever. You fall perpetually in space, in the solar system. So I think the solar system is pretty much hell. I'm starting to think my image is locked up because it's seriously so close to the branches. Let's see. Let me do this. Ready? We're changing the focus. I want you to see how close we are to the branches. Do I have to go the other way? Where are the branches? Sorry it's so shaky. I'm trying to show you the branches. Oh, there they are. See what I mean? It's in the branches, but we're still getting... I'm showing you my pine trees. There. So I did kind of bump it as I was doing the focus. I moved it. So we'll get it right. The moon's centered again. There, how's that wishy-washy moon? Whoops, wrong way. Ooh, it's hard to go up because I got my camera on there. Ooh, I just heard like a hot rod doing a burnout. There we go. See, we can see, when we'll zoom in, or not zoom in, but we'll watch how fast the bristles go by. And if we were confused about reference frames, we could say that the tree's moving. The tree's moving, right? But it's not. Real asks what telescope I'm using. It is a Meade ETX 125. It's actually a pretty nice telescope. So if you look at the left side of the screen, I know that the branches are kind of blown in the wind, but if you kind of just overall watch, you can tell that it appears like the branches are going up. You know what I'm saying? That's how fast the moon moves. I mean, it's very slow, but it's definitely moving. We are in revelatory times. I think you mean like revelation. Yeah. That's why people are saying the Earth's flat. That's why people actually are believing, I mean, not just saying it. Okay, so we're going to go back to the moon and see what it looks like when we go through the branches. Because you'll still be able to see the moon. Totally. It'll just be a little fuzzy. Don't worry, I'll recenter it. It's hard to get it focused, or to know what focused is. I think that's probably focused. It's hard to know when you're looking through all them tree branches. We still got it though. It's just a smudge on my camera. I'm just kidding. Remember I said, I'm gonna go trim those trees? Didn't do it yet. But that's the truth. The truth is coming. It's the revelation of Jesus Christ. So I would try to get to know what that's all about. Who's Jesus Christ? Most people know the story. Like a smudge of poo. So I don't know, it's gonna be in the branches for a long time. Maybe I should try to reposition. Let me walk around and see if I can get a better view somewhere else. Yeah, if I moved it, it'd take about 1 minute, but we'd get it right back into view if I moved it. Like, if I move it back, it'll probably go over that tree. Yeah, I think that's who. Fulcrum, Yahweh, man. You are really in touch with Christ, I believe you. I think to be in touch with Jesus, read the Gospels. I mean, if you don't know who he is, read the book of Revelation. That's his testimony. Like it says right in there, that it's the testimony of Jesus Christ. So if you read that book, he can speak to you right in that book big time. Go to the 3rd chapter. Go to the end of the 3rd chapter, and it might just change your whole life. Change everything about how you see. Because that happened to me. And he says, in Revelation 3, he says he's standing at the door and knocking. For everyone. If anybody opens the door. Anybody. Then you can meet him. And he'll come into your life. So that there, I'm trying to read these. Some of these comments are awful, you guys. Doughboy says, be careful about Revelation, but Jesus' testimony is the Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and all of his words. The book of Revelation is full of his words. John was sent a vision that came from a signified angel that was specifically appointed to deliver the revelation of Jesus Christ. So I'm careful about it, of course, but that book is it's his words from sitting on the throne at the right hand of his Father. Like, that's where the words came from. And if you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, that's where you can meet him. Like, that's where you can get to know who he is. Like, people always think that Jesus has something to do with religion. And I'm like, when I read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Jesus hated religion. He hated religion. And I would say he hates religion because he's still alive today. He's against religion. He was always pointing out what was wrong with religion. They take his words and mess them up and change them into man's words and ideas. That's what religion is, to take and join a group of people that they have rituals and they have... That's not what the church is. The church is actually people that are dispersed everywhere in the world. They might not even go to some building every week, but they might. Get what I'm saying? It's not a building. It's not a group of... It is a group of people, but probably only God knows who all those people are. What's up, $2 Trey? I saw you playing guitar the other day. You're jamming, dude. It's not a cloud. It's actually a tree in my yard. And I was thinking of repositioning the telescope, which I probably should do right now. Thanks for reminding me. I should have started talking. Okay, so it's going to be a second till we get set back up again, and then I don't know how. I'll have to kind of jostle it around to try to get it somewhat able to track. But we got a better vantage point right here. Let me just try to sink it in the dirt a little bit. I'm trying to level it and keep it pointed at Polaris. Get down. Okay, let's see. I doubt you see it, but let me it should be close once I get it positioned. I gotta pick a new spot. Sorry, I'm kind of on a hill. I gotta find a flat spot on a hill. Not there. Ooh, I think I found it. But it's gotta settle in, so. Ooh, I think I found it. Okay, that should be close. Now we just gotta find the moon. Where is it? I can't even see my spotting scope. Oh man, we're way off. I must have jostled it. Should be about there, I think, and then I gotta... There, we're back. I think we're back on track. Would that take a minute? That probably only took a minute. Not bad, huh? Oh, but you know what? I think I'm turned. Oh man, I'm way off. We'll see how it does. I'm not facing Polaris exactly. I'm actually quite a bit off. But we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, I just moved like 15 feet to the east so that we kind of see over that tree right now. It was like cloudy and looked like it was gonna rain all day. Took a nice nap and then here we are. Clear sky. Well, there is some clouds, but there's some thin ones that are moving towards the moon, but I don't think they're gonna get there for a while. So are we seeing through the moon? Good question. I don't think we're seeing through it. This is just something weird. I don't really know. It's a good question. Faith Orr says, anyway, friends, Earth is flat for sure, though. The Earth we live on, the actual one that's out the front door of your house, is flat with topography, right? It doesn't ever. If you get on an airplane and you fly around the world, you never go upside down from your starting position. You're always right side up. Is it wandering? Have you been on a plane? Yes, many times. Is it out of focus? It might be out of focus. Because remember I was messing with the focus? So we're gonna... Ooh, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. There, that should be the best I can get it. Yeah, make sure you guys follow the creator. Well, follow the creator, but I mean, follow my TikTok too. Yeah, that's in focus. Chris says, moon wouldn't look like that on a flat earth. Well, it does. Flat earth isn't something that is a... Okay, put it this way. Why are there debates everywhere? Like, and I mean everywhere. Flat earth versus globe. It's because you don't know and I don't know. So it's a belief. If you believe in a globe, that's a belief. If you believe it's flat, that's a belief. Isn't it funny that people on the flat side always agree with that statement? Oh yeah, it is. It's a belief. But the people on the globe side, they just say, no, it's not a belief, it's objective. Well, a good part of the world doesn't believe it. So it's not objective. It's not a fact. Phil Craig, what's up, brother? Haven't talked to you for a while. Good to see you. Night is not possible on a flat earth. Yes, it is. Chris, BAKN, I would encourage your laughy faces. I would encourage them to go to my YouTube channel, which is the same name as my TikTok. It's EFTUPWORLD, sorry. And just look around on my channel, because there's a lot of videos where I talk, and there's a lot of videos where I just put astronauts, or I put whatever. There's a lot of different content on there, but go look around on there and come back a week later. I'll do a stream in a week or so, or I'll do one before then, but come back and we'll have a conversation about it. Because saying things like the sun wouldn't go down or there'd be no nighttime or whatever, it only shows me that it's a new... It's something that you have not grasped how big of a subject that it is yet. I don't know I'm not good with my words. What I'm trying to say is it's much more, it's much more information than you've come across yet. And if you set your heart to look for this information, you'll find it. Zoom please more. All right, Happy Fish. How's that? That's a little too grainy for me. Let's go a little bit out. There we go. That's a little better. Nothing happened yet. Busy. Have you, or sorry, Alice Fack. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Have you looked into lunar wave? I've seen that. Yeah, Crow 777. That's a weird thing. And I've seen it. I've seen it. What's the channel? His name's Chris, but I can't remember his channel. He saw that happen to Saturn. It was really weird. What are we waiting for? I don't know. We're just waiting for Jesus to come. No, I don't know what we're waiting for. We're just looking at the moon. It's supposed to explode? I didn't even know that. I think if we're all just waiting here, waiting for it to explode. Oh, here come the bugs. It's getting that time where the bugs start coming out. I better go cut them branches quick. They're still rubbing, the leaves are still rubbing on my truck right now. So I'll be back. I gotta do it. Seriously, is this a flat earth thing? No, it's the moon, dude. But I was talking about flat earth. Yeah, there's craters that look like they came from Earth because they're like, that's all the craters, like that doesn't go with the gravity idea or anything like that. If things are flying through space, Fur 3 water, you support flat Earth and flat moon? Pretty much. I mean, I really don't know the whole shape of the entire Earth or something, but the observable Earth is a plane with mountains, hills, and valleys and all that jazz. And the moon does appear to be flat. We only see one side of it. It looks like a sphere. It appears to be a sphere, but if you pay more attention to it and look at its path that it takes over us, then it doesn't look like a sphere. It looks like a flat disc. Is there any stars? Not yet. Not that I can see any yet. I have my telescope the wrong way. Best of luck to you. Moy, I don't think that's right. It says Corey Eugene Miller, the dark side is just the side the sun's not touching. I don't think that's necessarily. I think that the sun, I think, makes the moon light, but I don't think it's a reflection. I think the moon is actually like a glow-in-the-dark sticker or something. You know, that idea. When it's getting close to the moon, when the sun's passing it, you don't even see it, but unless there's like a solar eclipse. But anyway, it's a luminary, yes. I mean, it's a light. If you ever go look at it at night or right now, it's a light. Whoops, I'm trying to just get it a little bit more up. Sorry, I gotta press the wrong button first. Whoa, I got the speed way too fast. Hold on. Now I screwed it all up. Because it's hard to go. I have to lift my camera with the telescope. So it's not, I don't have weights on it or anything. Get back up there. Okay, I gotta speed it up. There we go. There, I was just trying to get it up a little higher. The moon disappeared. Yeah, it's the moon. It's a light. It's obvious. It rules the night. It's the lesser of two great lights. It's quite simple. All right, I better go trim them branches. I'll be back. You know, sometimes talking about doing something that you have to do, it can make it way bigger of a job by talking about it. Like I have. I should have just gone and done it. See ya. I'll be back. clouds. Clouds are coming. It's already got clouds in front of it. Still got a few more branches. I was just making sure that we're still somewhat centered. Make sure you guys follow and then check out my YouTube channel too. It's the same name as my TikTok channel. I'll probably upload this video to my YouTube. Can't even see it anymore. Can't believe you guys can see. Oh, I guess I can. It's just right above that tree now. It does look like there's a pretty thick cloud coming, but I don't know. That just looks like that from over there, I guess. Yeah, there's that branch again. All right, guys, I gotta go. I think I'll do this again tomorrow if it's not cloudy. So I'll maybe set up in a better spot. It does look like clouds are coming anyway. So not very good checking or viewing right now. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure to follow and check out my YouTube. I'll be putting this up there probably tonight. So have a great night. Thanks for checking it out. Whoops, I gotta find my end button here.